All right, everyone, welcome back to another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video with Fat Phil, and I have got an FAQ for everybody today. Let's get into our topics. We're going to be talking about credits, the credit crunch that a lot of players I think are experiencing, and how you can get credits quickly. We're going to talk about overinvesting in fleets and why I think it's a mistake, and the one thing that a lot of players are getting wrong, putting relics in places they shouldn't, regarding fleets. And then finally, just kind of answer a couple, questions that I've kind of seen popping up here and there. So let's dive right into it, guys. Like, subscribe, comment down below. I do apologize to my channel members that I haven't gotten to update the channel member title card yet. I got a massive, massive outpouring of channel memberships gifted over the weekend, and I haven't had a chance to update it just with life. So if you guys can give me some time to work on that, I really thank all of you. You all are fantastic human beings, and a link to channel memberships and the Discord is down below. So let's get in here and let's talk about credits first. So, credits are one of the things in this game that I think we take for granted at times. And the big thing with credits is that the way you have to get them has changed. So, if you remember back in, before the raid changed to the Crate Dragon raid, you would get credits through the Heroic Sith raid, through the Tank raid, and through the Pit raid. They were just lumped in with those rewards. Well, the minute they changed the rewards to say, hey, you're just going to get these currencies and you have to spend it where you feel you need it, they gave us a lot of power with that. And I think of, the Spider-Man, right? Uncle Ben saying, Peter, with great power comes great responsibility. And that's the way you need to treat this currency, that they've given you so much power to be able to pick and choose what you want. But there's the responsibility that comes with it that you need to make the right decisions. So with credits, what you have to remember is that you used to get these all the time. But now you are responsible for buying them yourself. That, like, the amount of stuff that they give you, right? The currency that they're giving you for those rewards, though, in their minds, and this is the way it should be, is that baked into that, they're like, is X number of currency that you should spend on credits, X number that you should spend on these mod materials, this kind of gear, this kind of gear. So with credits, I think what you have to do is be very intentional about purchasing credits with your Mark 1 raid currency. I would argue that you should be purchasing anywhere from, I'd say, if you do with this new raid coming out, I need to see how big the reward difference is, but arguably you should be purchasing probably 3 million credits a week from raids. Somewhere in the range of like 3 million credits. That's about what I would think you could get. Maybe 2 million, 2.5 to 3 million credits, depending on how highly you were placing between the Pit raid, Tank raid, and Heroic Sith raid. You really have to be purchasing those credits, guys. I cannot stress that enough. So, very intentional buying credits. And that's like the fastest way to get them. You can purchase credits with Squad Arena currency, but I find it's far better towards prestige with just the sheer number of capital ships we need. And the big thing here is that you think it's 2,000 of your Squad Arena tokens to end up getting you a million currency. So you think that I can't go into Arena right now because I don't want to show you guys my Grand Arena results. I want you guys to go watch the live stream, which was a lot of fun. But the credits here, say you can purchase these every 3 days. So that's an extra 100 million credits a year. I mean, I don't think it's nice, but prestige is far better to do there. So I'd say the big thing is making sure that you're purchasing them with your raid currency. Now, the other thing here is understanding with credits. What I want to say is understand, are you losing credits because you're purchasing a lot of mods with your credits, right? Are you making a lot of mod purchases and that's why you're out of credits? Or are you just having to level up a lot of characters? You think, if you look at my account here, and I just go by power and start going down here, you think, there's not really that many characters I have left to take to level 85. So eventually, I'm going to hit this place where I don't really need to be worried as much about credits for the sake of leveling characters up, because once you take a character to level 85, you're done. You never have to take them there again, right? Those credits are spent, they're done, they're dusted. So it is a situation that you kind of get to where they're level 85. But my Cal Kestis here, Cal Ripken Jr., level 85. I don't ever have to put credits into him again to get him to a new level because they're not going to raise the level cap anytime soon. So that's with credits. Just understand, is it coming from you did a lot of characters or you're buying too many mods? And maybe you come back on mods a little bit. Maybe you're like, hey, I don't need to be leveling all these characters because I don't need them yet. You know, that's another thing. Like, if you're leveling characters that you don't need yet, like, just stop. It's not worth, like, what is the point of having a level 5 cup? I'm sorry. There's no need for it, right? There's no need for Bodhi Rook. Like, you just leave them go, and eventually when you're ready to hit, 15 million galactic power, you can worry about them. The next question I got was about fleets. And as you guys know, I preach the importance of fleets. But I also preach that you don't overinvest in your fleets. Now, what do I mean by overinvesting in fleets? I'll show you some examples in my fleet arena, but first I want to kind of explain a little bit. So when you think of your fleets, right, let's go to your executor fleet here. You got this fleet. With the Xanadu Blood and the Razor Crest, the reason I say you have to relic Cad Bane and Beskar Mando is because they're not requirements to get the executor. So you still want to end up relicking them because without their relics, they don't perform as well. Now, do I need you to take them to Relic 8? No. But do you want them to at least be at relic levels so that way you can get more consistent holds, maybe stop some of those counters? Absolutely, right? You have to do that. But then let's go into, say, your Profundity. And I've seen a lot of, Profundity. You're going to have Han and Chewie at relic levels from Jedi Master Luke. Dash Rendar is a requirement. And then you've kind of got these Phoenix characters where you don't really need to relic them because oftentimes you don't even call them in. Right? Like, oftentimes you don't even call them in. And when you do call them in, a lot of times battle's already over, so it doesn't matter. So it's not often you're relying on those Phoenix ships to have to really have those high relics to get you holds, right? It just doesn't... Not saying that it's not good to relic your Phoenix for other purposes, but for the purpose of a fleet, yeah, not really. But now let's go to the Leviathan. So this is the popular lineup right now for Grand Arena, where a lot of players are kind of taking their Sith Assassin to Relic 8, Relic 9. This is a massive mistake. Because you will still swarm down if you watch guides on players where they use the Negotiator to beat this fleet. You're still going to swarm it down. It doesn't change how that battle goes. Same thing with the, Profundity counter to this fleet. Having a Relic 9 Sith fighter will not help you. And what actually, it's going to hurt your account. Because you're going to put these resources into a character that is useless outside of fleets. Useless outside of fleets. So I have this Relic 9 Sith Assassin. The next fleet is going to come in, decimate Leviathan, and now you're left with this Relic 9 character that isn't really helping you anymore. And I know what everybody's thinking is, well, Phil, wouldn't Relic 9 make it harder to counter? Not to the degree that it's worth investing those Relic levels. Let me show you guys something that I mean here. If I go into my fleet arena here, right? We go into fleet arena, and I'm going to click on a couple of guys here who I know have invested extra relic levels. So here we've got this Jonathan guy, right? If I go to his Sith fleet, whoops. Apologies, my cat knocked over something on my desk. So, Relic 9 Malgus, Relic 8 TIE Dagger, Relic 8 Interceptor, Relic 8 B-28, Relic 8 Sith Fighter. This guy's still falling. It's not keeping him in first place. We're still all beating him. So, there's this, I don't know, there's this point I'm trying to, like, the point I'm making here is, like, those relics aren't helping him. Because he's not going to get more holds in Grand Arena. Like, he might get one more hold in Grand Arena, right? Maybe. But is it going to win him the match? Probably not, right? Because there's relic levels on everybody else. Like, you've got to, like, how do I say this? If you're a player at the top end of Kyber, yes, you're probably going to do stuff like this. But you think if you're an 8 million galactic power player, do not be doing stuff like this. Because it's not going to make enough of a difference in your account because your opponent is still going to find a way to off-meta counter it. Another guy in here, Millennial Falcon, where's he at? He's at number 10. And again, I'm not throwing shade at him. I'm just showing you guys that he's sitting 10th place. And he's got Relic 8 Malgus, Relic 8 Sith Fighter, right? He's got extra relic levels on them, and he's still falling into 10th place. So those relics aren't stopping him from, stopping people from hitting them in Squad Arena. They're not going to stop people clearing them from Grand Arena because there's counters, and it's better instead to kind of transition to what I mean here. It's better instead to invest that gear into the counter. better to invest that gear in the counters, because your counters are what you need. That my Leviathan at the level that it is still stops a lot of people's first attempts. You'd be better off taking those relics and taking your Plo Koon to relic levels, or increasing your Anakin a little bit to outspeed your Marauder or something like that. You know, that make those changes. Or maybe your Empire fleet is what you're using to beat this. Maybe you need to go ahead, oops, not Rogue One. Maybe you need to go ahead with your Empire and increase your Scythe and your TIE Defender and these characters, your TIE Fighter, so that way you're more consistent. Those would be relic levels that make a lot more sense. Because this is a off-meta counter for multiple fleets, and on top of that, there's much better characters here like Iden Versio who would benefit from more relic levels. So hopefully you guys follow this logic that, like, yes, it's good to have extra relic levels on your fleets, but at the expense of putting them on characters that are good, it's not so much, because you've got this fleet. You're not earning any more crystals than me, right? Just to somebody who's not going to invest that, right? You're not earning any more crystals than me, so you've invested all this into a fleet. I'm putting that all into characters. So now I'm going to get Leia Organa, which is going to improve me in Grand Arena. So now I'm earning more crystals, and I've got relics left over that, well, you were placing them on your Sith Assassin, I'm going to throw them on Leia, or I'm going to throw them on somebody else. And now my roster is making leaps and bounds, and then it puts me ahead towards that next fleet because I haven't invested all these crazy relics and signal data in something I didn't need. So I hope you guys follow that rambling big thing there about fleets, but I don't see the value in over-investing in your fleets. If it's, like, I don't see the value. You know, I just don't. I don't think it's helping enough players like they think it does. It looks cool, but it's not helping. So the final question I got asked is that I've seen a lot of players, I've got to do a whole video on this, but I do want to mention it, that a lot of people are saying that this Supreme Leader Kylo Ren Tier 6 seems to have gotten harder since the Galactic Legend tier of the Rey event. Since the new events that came out, they think that the Tier 6 is bugged or that it's much more difficult to do. So I've been doing a little bit of testing. I'm going to show you guys a run here, and I am going to kind of correct a video. I will post a correction. So I, again, being newer to this, right, but I don't really use those event abilities that often because I just don't, I try not to do stuff like that, right? But I'm going to show you guys that this event ability here can be really, really good. Now, we're not going to use it yet, right? But I'm going to show you that even with my old strategy, I'm still having a lot of success here. So, again, we're going to pass our turn, right? Keep going around here, stun this guy. And then we'll keep Resistance Hero Finn stunned, and we're just going to keep moving around. Yep, keep going. Yep. We'll just try and get that lifeblood down. There we go. He's in damage immunity. There goes Sudden Whirlwind. Thank you for your service. All right, here she... Oh, not another Sudden Whirlwind. Interesting. All right, let's put you... So now, watch. What you can do is you can swap turn meter here. Give Kylo another turn. I just don't see the, like, I get that it's going to get you, it will get you ultimate faster, right? It will 100% will get you, or like ultimate, it will get you things faster, but you don't need to do it, right? You can just do it the other way. You know, you don't need to do it, but as you guys will see here, this is going exactly the way that I've done it for how long here, right? We'll call everybody into assist. There we go, there they go. And now it's mono-e-mono. And should be able to take her out. And this is pretty, I'd say this is pretty much like my other runs went here. So we're just going to keep going, right? Remember I said eventually you just get through Rey, right? We're going to stack enough mastery and it won't matter. So there, we're just going to keep going. She's going to use her abilities. That's fine. There goes that. Keep on going here. Yep, keep going. We're okay. We are okay. Yep, there goes a basic. Lots of health steal there. She's able to crit us because we lost our advantage. Keep going. There we go. We're ramping now. We're ramping really well. Can't critical hit us. That's a good dodge. Keep using our basic ability here. All right. Poke her. And there she goes. So there, right? My strategy unchanged. unchanged. I don't know that it's bugged. I don't know if it feels harder or not. I don't think so. I feel like that's just a pretty typical run. But we'll do this again, and I'm going to show you guys that event ability that a lot of players are using. And it's a mistake that I probably made just of not really reading what it does. So I'll show you guys what it does and why it can be useful. So we'll lead off here. So look, the damage dealt by target allies increased by 50. They lose taunt if they have it and become untargetable and can't be defeated. Right? Global cooldown, and you can't be targeted. So watch, you can swap this with yourself, and then you can go ahead, and now my damage is increased here. We'll go ahead and do that. And remember, this isn't bonus turn meter. We're not gaining bonus turn meter. Now I'm going to hold it here because I've got my specials. But it's not bonus turn meter, so you're not actually like hurting yourself. So now what we'll do, so we're just going to wait here. We'll go ahead, try and get that lifeblood off. There we go. All right. Poke Ray. Okay, there goes KRU. So now watch. Can use this to pass turn meter. And now I can go ahead and poke over here. And we'll keep going. So now we can swipe. And the event ability makes this far easier. This was just a misplay on my part of not really understanding it. But again, as I showed you guys, you know, I didn't really need that ability. Throw this out. Throw here. There goes that guy. We can now do this. Build this. And then what you'll do, look, I've got these guys left. We're still not going to swap yet because I've still got all of my cooldowns ready to go. So you only want to use it when you're going to have to be forced to watch. We'll do a poke here. And then call myself. There we go. And now I can poke again. There goes that guy. Target myself. And it just avoids you ever having to use your basic. It allows you to ramp more. You know, you're looking here. It takes, what, a little bit. It's a little bit less time. It definitely makes an impact. I'm not going to say it doesn't. Definitely makes an impact. But, again, as you guys saw with my other strategy, if you're modded right, it doesn't matter. So, I did want to post this correction. I'll kind of post a video overarching talking about this. But I did want to show I don't think the event is bugged. I think it's very, very doable still. So, you know, guys, that's the FAQ. Hopefully you guys are still appreciating these videos. Hopefully they're helping you along in your journey in Galaxy of Heroes. I love all you. May the Force be with you, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.